Hi there, and welcome to Gauntlet Comics. Gauntlet Comics is a shared GM, shared universe, pretend comics imprint where we tell primarily superhero stories, but also stories of individuals that live in New Gauntlet City, our theme city for this comics imprint that we're running a bunch of tabletop RPGs in. I co-GM along with Jim Crocker and Lowell Francis, and coming soon, another player in this game who isn't here tonight, but Alexis Sargent's going to be running some games. He's running Masks coming up soon. I'm very excited to have him join the fray. We are always looking for more brave souls who want to jump feet first into the Gauntlet Comics world. We have Wiki, we've got all of these Hangouts games, and I even do a very silly comics news update type deal that I let's just say I have probably more fun making it than other people have listening to it, but I don't care. I'm like an old fan of the SNL fake like crazy commercials, and so my ability to make fake commercials is going to keep me going, friends, and hopefully other people will listen from time to time. It's enough about the Gauntlet Comics show, which is on Anchor. We are currently playing a game that you would think, is this a superhero thing? And I say yes, and we are proving it right. We are playing Demigods PBTA. What's that? Demigods is similar to the Percy Jackson and the Olympians stories by Riordan. It is modern day, where the children or progeny of deities of various mythologies walk among us. A little bit of American Gods in there as well. I'm a big fan of that series. Looking forward to season 2. And they are all in New Gauntlet City, these demigods. It's Powered by the Apocalypse game. It's currently in beta. Jason Mills is the person who has authored it, and he's come up with a bunch of really interesting playbooks, cleverly named moves, and some fun. This is the second series of Demigods that I've run. The first one was more the way Jason intended, and now I'm just drifting it a little bit. In last session, we did a lot of world building, and they saw a Minotaur, befriended him, and made him into a house guard. I didn't see it coming. Followed a red thread back through one of the characters' wardrobes because I'm just that meta, and stepped foot into what appeared to be some kind of maze. So let's remind ourselves of our characters who are here tonight. Sherry, tell us a little bit about your character, please.
Okay, my character is Althea Alley Darden. She's a daughter of Persephone. And, of course, her human father, is Neil Darden, the garden guy. And he is a YouTube and a media celebrity, a representative of organic gardening and fine agricultural processes around the world. And she's traveled the world with her dad, learning all about the different ways that people raise important food crops that have sustained their cultures throughout time. On the other hand, when it's weekends and she stays with her mom, she usually has to go back to her mom's house, and her mom's mother's there, and it's sort of a tense situation. And in the winters, it's really weird. That's the only time that her mom goes and spends with her actual real husband now, Allie's stepdad, Hades. And it took her a long time to figure out that, in fact, there was something odd about the whole situation. For instance, her mom would pack up all of her food for the weekend with Hades in Tupperware before they even left, and she had to eat out of Tupperware the whole time. But other than that, it was a normal, horribly awful, boring divorced childhood. Let's see here. She is, the playbook is the Verdant, and she is good at a move called Regrowth, and which essentially allows her to heal. And she is ferocious, so she can fight quite well. Her special knacks are that she has an epic weapon, which is a diamond scepter, which was a high school gift from her stepfather, a vital aura, and a divine constitution. I don't know what they mean, but they sounded lovely.
They do. The gifts often will give you bonuses for particular moves, and I think they give you a lot, or at least they will in this game, give you narrative permission to do certain things, with or without rolls. So your vital aura could be pretty important in this session. Divine Constitution may pay off if your rolls don't go well. Thank you so much, Sherry. David, remind us of your character. This is a returning character from the Masks game that we used to kick off the Gauntlet comics. So I'm very excited to have him back. David, tell us about Pillar.
Yeah. Pillar is a kind of accidental creation of the super heroic god Morrigan when they kind of had a falling out with their longtime, I think, girlfriend. The emotions were so intense that they created this being out of kind of concrete and asphalt. He immediately decided that he should start righting the wrongs in the world and called himself Pillar, and ran around with the superhero crowd for a bit and tried to learn as much as he could. He had went on a few dates, but he later learned that they weren't actually dates, and that's just how humans sometimes they eat with other people. He was very confused, but eventually he figured it out. Later on, he learned that there were other demigods in the world, and took it upon himself to meet all of his brothers and sisters, and whether they believed that they were siblings or not. So he's been living in this house with a few of them to kind of learn that side of things.
I love yes, there are other demigods. I'm going to meet all of my brothers and sisters. That's such Pillar logic. Best janitor. Awesome. So as I had mentioned at the top, you guys have followed a red thread through the wardrobe, stepped onto kind of the wooden interior of the wardrobe, and the next step that you took was on cold, wet stone. And as your senses returned, the two of you are standing beside each other in a long, in the end of a corridor. You look behind you, you see that there are very well crafted, formed together stones into a wall. Like there is no wardrobe way back, and you're at the end point of a long corridor, and within moments you realize that this corridor leads to another corridor, to a T intersection, to a curving wall, and you are in a labyrinth. There is no singing rock star here. There are no Muppets, but there could be dangers. So, as you guys are starting to realize that you're not in Kansas anymore, what do you do?
I think I was guilty of breaking the thread, so I will kind of see if I can find the end of it that's over here on this side.
Excellent. So, if you take a look at the character keeper, and again, I'll apologize for my my pup, as he's making my son aware of some dangerous threat that's just outside the door. I have created or stolen a move, the Labyrinth move, which Jason Cordova of Gauntlet made famous. I've kind of tweaked it just a little bit for Demigods PPTA. Well, if you take a look at the Labyrinth Move tab, you will see that when you attempt to navigate the labyrinth, describe how you do it. You are following the thread and roll plus stat. And the stat is the stat that we feel is appropriate for what you're trying to do right now. And actually should probably be attribute. So let me just go and rename that. We should call that attribute so that it would feel demigodsy.
Okay. So essentially, I'm going to make a roll. So
You are, but let's see. Now, what are you trying to do? I think that you are using your judgment here, right? Following the red thread. Unfortunately, your judgment looks like a 0, so you just roll on a 2d6.
okay, that is within my skill set. I am going to put 2 of these dice lower down, and those are the 2 that I will reroll.
I see. Rerolling a 4 and a 6. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, I got a 4.
Okay, so let's take a look at that move here. I'll
Ah,
screen share so we're all looking at the horror that is.
it gets interesting immediately.
I know. On a miss, you encounter a guardian. So, I'm curious though, Pillar, as you see Allie kind of following along the thread, is still a little bit slack. What is it that we see Pillar doing? I'm kind of curious what you're up to.
I think this is pretty new and exciting for Pillar. I think he's maybe every few minutes just like stopping, like, this corner is quite. Look at this. This is interesting. What's growing here? And maybe Allie has to keep like, come on, Pillar, let's keep going. And he's just kind of having a ball. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah, and I do think that she is trying to be very calm about all of it. So she's like, if you ask what's growing there, she'll actually look at it intently and then come back with a sort of very Greek-sounding name for it.
And he's like, Allie, this is the most fascinating closet I've ever been in. I love it.
And she sort of goes, this isn't my closet, Pillar.
Oh, I thought, oh, okay.
No,
No.
It's a maze. We fell into the labyrinth.
Oh, where our friend came from.
Yes. And remember, he was hungry.
Yes. Well, no wonder I haven't seen one bit of food since we've been here.
Exactly. But we know that someone was trying to reach us. So I suppose if we can find them, at least they'll know what's going on.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right.
So you continue following the thread. It takes a right turn at a T intersection. The wall starts to curve, and ahead you see like a greenish light, but it's not like a harsh, bright bulb light, but it's more like the gooey light filtered from, say, like a phosphorescence. There seems to be a bit of a glow. And as you guys come, you see that it starts to run up and then widen until at the end of the corridor, you see this woman who is half woman, half snake. She's got her fist is up there. There's something in her hand, and she looks at you with her 2 green eyes and says, "You are not supposed to be here. You smell different." And her tail, she starts to sway back and forth and move towards you. What do you do?
I say, thank you. You are correct. We are strangers here. Is this your home?
It is not my home. I am guest. I am quested to stay here and protect the labyrinth.
Is the labyrinth in danger?
I hold within the labyrinth one has been imprisoned. Are you here to free him?
I have no idea who you're talking about. Who is it?
Then you must be fools who stumbled in here. She starts to move forward. She kind of does that weird surging movement as her tail pushes her forward. What do you do? Pillar? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think he's trying to figure out, I think, if this is, a supervillain or just another lost kind of person. Or I guess not lost because she's quested, but maybe I guess in his mind, a superhero or supervillain, I guess, is how he would think of it. So you might say, well, um, we're not. I guess you could say we're fools in that we came here and don't know where it is. I thought it was a closet until very recently. I'm told that's not the case. But Yarn brought us here. Perhaps we're on a quest as well, maybe to help you.
The red thread, she screams, and she reaches out, and you see that she grabs hold of the thread, which was just, it kind of wound down and was slack underneath the slime in her area. And she starts to try to pull it out of your hand. Allie, what do you do?
Oh, I've already lost it once. I think I pull it back and I push her.
Oh, yes. Delightful. Yes, you've decided to come. You're going to smite your enemies, I think.
Well, I said it pushed her, but yeah, sure. That's what it turns into. Smite.
Smush your enemies.
All right.
You're gonna push your enemies. Roll 2d6 plus prowess to do your thing in a fight.
Okay, my prowess is like 1 or 2, isn't it? It's 1. Okay, let's do this thing. Again, the 2 lowest ones because now they owe me. So 6, a 7.
Okay, a 7 is a hit. You get to choose one from the list below. Exchange harm. Both combatants will take harm based on their weapons. Protect yourself. Go for the throat, which is +1 harm to your enemy. Gain an advantageous position. Take something from your enemy, or make an opening for an ally. And this is listed on the basic moves tab if you wanted to glance at it yourself.
I think that my entire intent is to take that thread back from her.
Okay.
So if that makes any sense.
It does. So you shove her back and snatch away the thread, and you see that it starts to, you know how when something's laying down, it's kind of wet, it snaps up a little bit, and there's a little spatter of the brackish water that she's been laying in. And yeah, at that point, she's going to be pretty upset, and I think that she is going to thwack you with her tail.
Okay.
So you're going to take some harm. So I need to look real quick because I've just realized do we just apply harm? I don't think there is a harm move. I just want to double check on that. I don't believe there's a harm move. You think you just take harm as established. Let me glance at that real quick. I apologize. I went down a rabbit hole of reading another RPG today, and my brain needs to reset to where we are. So give me just a moment.
Now, I do have an epic weapon that I would have been holding. So when I pushed her, I would have been holding it. I didn't hit her with it, though.
Correct. Pervading ace, sway someone, bend fate, perform under pressure, and smite your enemies. Okay, cool. So if your enemy has no way to strike back, exchange just means the enemy takes harm, but trading harm is optional here. Yeah, she's definitely going to thwack you, and she does 2 harm worth of damage. Do you have any kind of armor? I think you just have the scepter, which would help you in hurting things.
I didn't buy armor because it just seemed too gooby.
Hey, when you rolled that 4, that was 2 2s, was it not?
It was.
You rolled doubles. Go ahead and mark XP for that.
Oh, awesome. Oh, thank you.
Yep. It just popped me. So they're called threads in this game, but you're marking, threads. So take a thread, and you're going to take 2 harm.
Okay, I can do this thing.
Sweet. So she thwacks you across the chest, and it hurts. I guess your armor, which you described before, was like kind of if I remember, like an obsidian with cool ribbons on it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's more ornamental because it's not an actual armor. Or do you have actual armor?
I mean, it's armor. It's just not like epic armor.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
It makes sense. So if you have regular armor, like normal body armor, then you should take -1 harm, which means that you would only take 1 harm here.
Oh, right. Thank you. I'm learning the ropes right now.
It's no problem. The epic armor saves you against 2 harm, but regular armor, since you'd said very openly that she had the cool armor, that was even in the show, like the Gauntlet Comics episode that I listened to recently. So
it's cool.
True. All right,
but
cool.
I concentrated more on the ribbons than on the actual armor.
Yes. The ribbons are great, but you take 1 harm. Pillar, you just saw this snake lady thwack your friend, send her sprawling back into the labyrinth out of this little swampy area that this creature calls home. And she looks at you and she goes, I am Echidna, and I will destroy you, rock creature, if you interfere.
Oh, yeah. I think Pillar looks at this snake person and back at Allie, just, against the wall or like a few feet away, and just like, oh, when I see super villainry, I always interfere.
Yes.
And he's just gonna use his epic fist to kind of Pillar uppercut, his signature move.
Let's smite some, baby. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I prepared for this. I have a thing where, I can substitute a stat for this. So I'm gonna use my metal. Yeah, my metal. Okay. Only with my fist though, which is fine because that's jam anyway.
You carry your fists around with you. It's pretty great.
So an 8.
Nice. Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you get a choice from the list. You're definitely going to be exchanging harm here. Do you want to protect yourself, saving yourself from 1 harm, go for the throat and add a harm to your default harm that you do, gain an advantageous position, take something from your enemy, or make an opening for your ally?
Oh, you know what? I think the way I'm going to do this is, so he does this. He just kind of, Kirby-esque smashes her with his fist, and he's kind of strategically kind of putting himself in between the creature and Allie so that she has an opening, perhaps. So make an opening for an ally.
Cool. I love it. You guys are helping each other out. So she... Yeah, Echidna, when you smash her across, she wraps her tail around your fist, and she's going to start squeezing. So you're going to take 1 harm, but it's AP harm because she's just going to try to squeeze, and you hear the rock start to crush, and a little bit of the greenish moss that's been growing starts to grow a little bit stronger in the cracks. Yeah, so... Allie, you now see that Echidna is a bit out of a good fighting position because she's wrapped so much of her tail around the giant pillar.
Yes.
You could totally make a run for it right now if you wanted. Just leave Pillar behind.
No. What I want to do is I'm looking to, let's see here. I think... I think that what I want to do is, like, she has to live here, right? This is like where she lives and eats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and she said she was Gaius to be here, right?
Yes, she said I'm forced to be here to keep a prisoner.
Okay. And she says, I suggest you let go of him. She says, I will destroy this area and everything that keeps you alive.
Wow, that is a hefty threat. I think you're trying to sway her.
I am.
Here. So let's see you roll plus awe.
I don't have any great advantage, but I just think that would be the kind of thing that would occur to her. She gets a 7 on it.
Nice. Okay. So on a sway someone roll for NPCs, on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but they demand some kind of price. Cool. So you say, I'll destroy your home, right? What you say is
I will destroy like your ability to live here. I will destroy all of the living things here.
Okay, cool. So she keeps that grip around Pillar's arm, and you can hear the cracking stone. And she hisses at you and says, "Know the smell of you now, and recognize your armor. You are a demigod. Here's what I offer you in exchange. I will let this one go, but you will free me."
That was my intent anyway. You just got so hostile right away. Pillar, let's go.
And he kind of maybe just like, if she lets go, he maybe just like shakes her off his arm.
Yeah,
it's like
her tail starts to unfurl, and you shake her off, and she slithers back into her little swampy hollow, and you see that there is another passageway that was a little bit obfuscated from before that you can follow the thread towards and continue on.
All right. Let's go see who's in the middle.
Nice. Okay. I think maybe Pillar should make a roll. So Pillar, how are you? And again, you guys can actually, if you take a look at the move, multiple demigods can navigate in a turn. So you guys can talk about different ways that you're trying to navigate through, and both of you guys can make rolls if you wish, or if you don't feel terribly comfortable that each of you will make the roll, one person can aid the other. And so then you can roll the number of tangles you have to boost someone else's roll.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have tangles? We do have at least a tangle, don't we?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I will happily assist Pillar. So I think it makes sense that I would at this point, we have noticed that there are things growing. So I think that what I will do is ask the plant the direction where the brightest sunshine will come from.
Ooh, that's nice. And go ahead and mark XP because you're talking plants.
All right.
Just one of your verdant coolnesses. Yes! Your dog is so loud, David.
Yeah, it's true.
Sorry, I just wouldn't be able to say that. That's stupid dog. Awesome. Good. So you're making a roll. Are you guys separately making rolls then?
Is that how you aid someone?
Sorry, you're aiding. So I was just making sure. Yes. So in order to aid someone, you roll 2d6 plus the number of tangles or history that you have with them. And then if you are successful, then do you have a few choices. Let's see your roll first.
So that gives me a 10.
Oh, wow. So a 10 is awesome. So on a 10 plus, Pillar will get a +1 to their roll, and you gain 1 thread. It says and gain 1 thread. Wait, they get +1 to their roll and gain 1 thread. So I guess you just gave him an XP? That's weird.
So it's not that we gain another tangle, it's that we gain a thread.
Which is XP. That's literally what it says. On a 10 plus, they get +1 to their roll and gain 1 thread. So I think that you just gave an XP to Pillar.
We learned
and a +1. So cool. So how is Pillar trying to navigate, knowing how the plants feel the sun comes in this area?
Okay, I think I'm gonna try and go weird then. Maybe if Allie is trying to talk to these plants, I think Pillar maybe sees that, and since he can kind of a little bit talk to objects already, and I think our tangle was, at least on my end, was there was plants growing inside Pillar's body, and he was trying to figure out what that meant or what was going on. So maybe he's like, oh, maybe I'll try and learn this plant language with her. And maybe she's like explaining these this Ivy grammar to me, and going for that, like in that route. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great. So, are you looking to roll with weird then?
Yeah. My next question was, I have no idea what attribute that would be though. But yeah,
I
weird.
think it's roll with weird. You're bending fate. You're learning how to talk to weird things. I love it. So go ahead and roll with plus weird plus you have the +1 forward from the help that you're getting.
Yeah. So that is a 10.
Oh, fantastic! That's perfect. On a 10+, you gain 1 hold. So you guys navigate forward into, you go deeper into the labyrinth. You're following the string. It's no longer wet. It starts to kind of dry out. It's not in that swampy area. There's a row of the plants that you see. They're kind of in the crooks and crevices of the stone. That it's gotten older here. Maybe the point where you started is where the last bits of the construction. And you can see there are more gaps in between the little corner pieces of each of the tiles that you are going. And when you come around, you come to this large open area. There's a pool here, running water, fresh water, and you actually see there are a few animals that are here in this little, like a little glade almost. In the middle of this labyrinth. What do you do?
Let's see here. So there's a glade in the labyrinth, so there is sunlight coming in.
Yes.
So we can see out. Can we see any of the landscape beyond, or is it just sky that we can see?
So as you look out across the glade, you can still see the faint outlines of the walls of the labyrinth. They're about 25 feet tall, but there's enough for sunlight to come in, and you can see that there's a sky above, but the sky does not look like our sky. It's a sea green above you, and the sunlight comes through as kind of a brighter green, but you can see that it's enough. Like as a verdant, you understand it's enough for these plants to grow and to prosper, and for the animals to act as if it is a regular sun. You also see there are a couple of other passageways that lead in here, and the red thread is still a viable method to try to wend your way around.
Okay. And she sort of looks at Pillar and says, "Well, you found this place. Well done."
Oh, thank you. What sorts of animals are these?
What are they?
These animals, I believe that what you would see is a small fawn, and there are a number of little rabbits. So there do not appear to be any predators here in this particular area. Although, as a verdant, you recognize that they seem a little skittish around your presence.
Yeah, and I think she sort of stops and her first thing is, I don't know if she has the skills to do this, but this seems a strange place for them to be. So she checks to see if they are, how should we say, accursed or enchanted, so to speak. People who were placed here by enchantment and made.
Oh, no,
Yes.
That's very Greek mythology of you. Why don't you read the weave?
Okay.
Roll 2d6 plus judgment.
All right. I'm sure that's a 0 because that's how I roll.
It is. You are very focused into your metal.
Okay, so that gives me a 6.
Okay. That
Do
is
you have
not
any
great.
way to boost that afterwards?
There is, if Pillar wants to try to help you understand the world and wishes to provide aid, I'll allow you to do that to give you a +1.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. You have the 1 tangle, so you can roll 2d6 +1, and as long as you get a 7, then...
Wow. I got another. Oh, actually, 12 this time. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That is fantastic. So that pushes you to a 7. You get 2 questions from the list of either read a person, place, or artifact. I'll let you choose from any of those lists you feel is appropriate for what you want to know.
Okay.
And this time you get a thread too, I think, right?
Woot woot.
That is correct. Thank you very much for remembering that.
Okay.
Yeah, we traded.
Yes. So I think I'll be. Where did? To me, animals and people are much the same thing, but I want to know where they came from.
Oh, good. So you look at them, wondering if perhaps they could be cursed people who have been transformed, and you find that these animals were created, that they have not been people, that they are unnatural in that they have only lived here.
All right. And then I kind of. I think the next question is what's the greatest danger in this glade?
So the greatest danger in this glade is, well, actually, it's according to their perception, it's you, because they are prey to whatever 2-legged things come into this place.
Mhm.
You get the feeling that they were created as part of the ecology of this labyrinth. So creatures like the echidna and perhaps others come here and hunt these prey.
So
And
it's an auto feeder room.
yes,
A little sick.
little.
Okay. All right. This is a place for people to stop by for a picnic, Pillar. But we didn't pack anything, so we should keep on going.
Pillar doesn't eat. I don't think he eats. Like, do you eat? Do you eat, Pillar?
Oh, one time I had that ice cream,
That's true. There was the ice cream.
but it was half charcoal.
Which made it pleasantly chewy, right? Let's see here.
Yeah. Interesting. This is interesting in that they're also created creatures. I don't know how Pillar would even think of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What is it about Pillar, as you're looking at these creatures, what is it about one of them that looks that gives a signal to you that they are not like a mundane creature you would see at home in New Gauntlet City?
Oh, maybe there's like a buck. It's like what's the name of a boy deer? Yeah, it's got some antlers growing out, and maybe Allie saw this and didn't even like. Of course, that's fine, but they're like actually like plant matter instead of regular antlers, as in they were kind of created from this glade itself.
Ooh, that's cool. Plantlers.
Oh yeah, how did I miss that? Perfect.
There's no portmanteau that is too low for me.
Okay. That's what I respect most about you, Rich.
Thank you.
You're committed. You're committed. So I'm like, so someone's made these, Pillar.
Maybe he very slowly, carefully like walks over to this stag, much better word for male deer, and like putting his hand out, just like, oh, I yes, more brothers and sisters then.
And she kind of furrows her brow. She's like, well, they're here for the people who live in here, and we don't want to be those. And she goes, so we should move on. Because remember, she comes from the whole Hades thing, so you can't eat here unless you want to stay here.
You see, as you're talking, Pillar is so still that the stag has come up and sniffed Pillar's hand and then moved up and has started to eat some of the moss out of the little crack by his wrist. It's just...
And he might say, "Oh, yes, but what if they want to leave? Maybe we should bring them with us."
And she sort of stops and goes, "I think we should find a way out, and then we can lead them out."
And he probably takes too long to consider that and just eventually nods and just like, "Yes." And just to the stag now, just like, "You will come back."
And she sort of stops and goes, "Wait, maybe we should mark the walls as we go by." Look around for chalk or something like that. Something that will leave a mark on the walls.
Oh, well, you can find some of the phosphorescent moss that originally you saw in Echidna's lair, and there's some here as well, and you can use that to mark the wall.
Sure, that lasts not very long.
No, but hopefully you won't be here that long, right?
All right. I can sense it if I need to. It's a plant. One question before I leave. Just, do I have a sense of there being seasons here, or is it just always the same?
It's always the same. It's stuck.
It's kind of wrong.
Yes, it's very wrong. It's false. The sky, the plants, the animals, they're all wrong. This was not made by someone like your mother or you.
There's a sense of the rhythm of the world.
Right. Exactly.
Yes, we'll come back if we can, Pillar. Sometimes you got to burn a place down. I mean, off we go.
And so you continue on. So what method do you guys like to take as you continue following the thread? Is there anything in particular that you're doing to try to find your way?
Well, now that we know that there's like actual ecosystems put in here for people, we know it's going to be a little bit longer of a walk, like it could be. The other thing is, suggest that at least locally people find ways to navigate this stuff. And so I think it would be looking for pathways, or tracking, so to speak, things that come back and forth.
I like it. So I think then it seems that the tracking perhaps is again relying upon your judgment. Sorry, I just don't know how to work metal in there.
No, it is. I have a clever girl, which is a knack for tracking prey.
Ooh, yeah. Yes, that sounds wonderful.
So essentially, even without animal features, I generally spot the signs of passage. So
what I will do then is I'll let you roll with Fortune's Favor on the Labyrinth move, which means you get to roll 3d6 and pick the best two. Does that feel like a fair way to adjudicate your move?
I do think so, and I think that it makes sense that it works here because there is a place that things would come back and forth to. So give us a sense of the layout here.
Holy crap, you have Ferocious too. I just saw that.
Yes. Okay, so that gives me a 10.
Nice. With the 10, you guys will gain another hold. So that is, you have 2 hold. Now, you can spend 1 hold to find any of the labyrinth's treasures, or if you want to save up for the 3 hold, then when you spend 3 hold at any time, you can find the labyrinth's exit. However, keep in mind that Echidna said that there was someone held within that she is guarding.
Right.
So You continue onward. You start to follow the pathways. You find that there are some like cutback trails that generally the slope of one particular aspect of the labyrinth that curves around looks like it's designed to carry you around in that circle. And you find a couple of areas where, it's painted to look like it's just part of the wall, but in actuality, it's a bit of an optical illusion. But you're following the pathways and starting to learn the back alleys, and you run into a couple of little like satyrs with bows, but then once they see Pillar, they take off running and just scamper away. So you guys gain a hold, and you're starting to learn more and more about the labyrinth, but you still haven't solved the labyrinth because there's a move. So there you go.
There you go. So I think it's up to Pillar now. What would you like to do? We have some holds you can spend, or you can try to accrue some more.
Yeah, I was just going to say, not in a particular hurry. Do you think we should cash in one of these treasure holds?
I think that you in particular would be very good with a treasure. So yes.
Yeah, I might. I'll go for that. So, do you spend a hold and describe the room it is found in?
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. This might be cheap, but I guess all my things go around devices. So maybe I'm thinking maybe almost like I'm thinking some kind of like clockwork kind of situation. Trying to put that into an interesting room though. Maybe just I don't know. Is there, either of you two have an idea?
I think that there are lots of machines that could be run by water moving through them, or some sort of natural force, that kind of thing. So you could definitely find something like that, unless you want something that you can carry away. So
no, that sounds good.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of machines that are powered entirely on water. So anything you can conceive of could be a machine that's pushed that way, with the water fills it up, and that energy is used to do a thing. Slowly, perhaps, but inevitably.
Oh yeah. Oh, maybe almost like some of these labyrinths will have like a clock or something in the middle, maybe, or at some point, or a fountain. I mean, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this has like a big clock that's like part clock, part fountain. That's kind of telling you, and it's just thinking like Alice in Wonderland type gibberish. Like that's not keeping any time. What does this mean?
If I can, I'd like to add in just a little bit inside that clock. You see that there are a lot of there's Greek script that's been written inside, and there are a number of months. So it contains not only the months of the year and the seasons and the tides, but also astrological signs. It keeps track of particular constellations, although it's slightly out of date. Like there have been a number of constellations from this point. They're all the Greek constellations of those that were Sagittarius and the others that were raised up, especially Orion's belt and the like. And you can see that they are older gears that occasionally they will slip. But yeah, you see there's a number of wondrous mechanisms that have been constructed in this little glade, and sitting among all of these beautiful, intricate clockworks and other mechanisms, you see that there is a pair of winged shoes that have been taken off at some point, and somebody just takes their shoes off as they're sitting on a low bench, and they leave them there. One of them's turned on the side, and the other's shoe is sitting there, and the wing flutters as you guys get closer.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm interested in those.
Oh, you found them?
Yeah, I mean, you did find them, Pillar.
So yeah, I think I might. Are they like actually like just flapping by themselves, like bird-like?
Very gently, like they're very calm. As you move closer to them, the wings start to flutter a little bit more, but they don't try to fly away. Unless you think they do, then that would be fine.
No, I think Pillar walked much like he did to the animals in the glade. Kind of walks over with his giant hands and just like, oh, come here, little birds. What are you doing here? And I think I'll take that opportunity to use this Deus Ex Machine thing. I'm just like, tell me your story, little friends.
Ooh, so roll 2d6 plus judgment to touch an object, device, or machine and understand how it works. Ooh, you have 2 judgment. Look at you.
Oh no. I got a 6 right now.
Can I help him? I go, I've seen those before. I mean, something like them.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, I will do that. I will attempt to assist him. So I'll move 2 dice down. A 6 too.
Wait, don't you have a tangle with him?
Yes, I do. 7.
You get to roll plus tangle.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness there's a GM here to.
Right, there's no XP on a miss, so that would have just been bad all around, and then they would have flown away, and they would have called their mom, and I don't know, there would have to be a mom of some kind. Cool. So these are as you, the player, probably guessed, the winged shoes of Hermes. They grant you the ability to. They will adjust to your feet, even if you have not toes but stumps, which if I remember correctly, that Pillar's feet are just like rock columns, I think.
Sounds about right.
It will fit, and you can actually fly.
Oh, that's interesting.
Takes some effort, but you feel comfortable enough from understanding the device that you could fly short distances and take extremely long leaps.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so let's see. The game is telling me that I want to describe this because I get an XP. So
yes,
I think maybe Pillar is just like holding these tiny shoes in his giant hands for a little bit and just like, just babbling to them basically, just like, and he's like, oh, do you know of Allie, someone named Hermes? Is that right?
Hermes, kind of a cousin of my mom. Third cousin.
Oh, good. These are relatives then.
Oh, well, you should probably bring those with us.
Yes, they I guess, and he points down at. Does Allie wear shoes? I can see them. Maybe she wouldn't.
She has boots on, sandals on. She probably has sandals. So she goes, well, I have shoes.
Oh yeah, just like those. These are things that people put on their feet.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to wear them?
Oh, I've never tried shoes on, but it might be fun. Yes, that's what they are telling me they're made for. Also, for flying, which I've never tried. That seems quite dangerous but exhilarating.
I think it would take some practice. No time like the present.
And then I think just how clumsy he is, kind of, he lifts one leg up while standing and just like falls on his butt and just like, oh no, this is easier now, and just put them both on there.
Okay.
And yeah, I imagine them just kind of like you were saying, almost like warping, like changing into maybe like the bottom of these cylindrical feet just kind of change colors a little bit, and then there's like wings at the end now.
Mm-hmm. Little tiny wings, like cute little fluttery wings. on the
Yes,
back of your stone ankles.
I love that.
I do too. That is pretty great. You guys are back down to one hold. You now have one of the treasures of the labyrinth. And you are here in this water clock and clockwork mechanism. What would you like to do next?
We could fix the clock. It remembers all the years that have been here. Might be able to tell us something.
Yeah, maybe Pillar's like looking down at these wings again and just like poking them or something, and they're like flat. And he's like, "Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot. We should talk to this large friend."
Yep, and I think she'll stand on it. Of all the machines, this is the one that she sort of likes the best because it's about the seasons and the things, the timing, the way things move. She goes, "If I can help, I will."
Oh yeah, and maybe Pillar's like, "Oh, of course. It's not unlike speaking to plants. Maybe it's like the mirror of the last
Oh,
grammar
okay.
lesson we had.
Oh,
We're
that's
kind of talking to it.
okay. That's super interesting because she really, really covets the idea of understanding this clock. So,
I like it.
all
Cool.
right. So, what should we do here then? What is our best?
Well, if you want to try to understand more about the machine here, then it sounds like it might be a Deus Ex machine.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I could
And
see.
then- I'm
I
sorry.
could see either doing that, or that could be if you were aiming for that to be the next labyrinth move. I'm fine with either.
It could totally be that too. I'll leave it up to you guys. In fact, if you want, we can go ahead and use your judgment here as the next labyrinth move, as you're trying to understand more about the mechanism.
Okay. So
Cool.
Pillar will roll, or I should roll.
Um,
I think Pillar.
yeah, I think Pillar. By the way, I just dropped into chat. That is what that device is called.
Ooh,
The Antikythera mechanism,
awesome.
an ancient Greek analog computer
Ooh.
used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses for calendar and astrological purposes decades in advance.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's amazing. So I wanted to throw it in. Thank you for letting me. Cool. So go ahead and roll plus judgment.
So let's see. I have a 9 currently. I guess we could go to a 10 possibly.
Yes,
Ooh.
if I can assist.
And you already have set up an assist perfectly, so let's have you roll it. Roll plus that
Okay.
+1 there for your tangle.
Okay. Once again, the cursed lower dice.
You will
So that's
train
an
them.
8.
You
Yeah,
will train them to
exactly.
perform
I'm
well.
slowly trying to level them up. So I got an 8.
Failures. Yes, that pushes you up to a 10, which gains you another hold, and that puts you to 2 hold. Remember, it's 3 to gain exit. And as you are seeing how things work here, there are a couple of, like I said, the teeth and the cogs have broken. What do you do with the broken teeth? Do you try to like replace the cogs, or do you just spin it so that the missing tooth catches, or that the remaining teeth catch? What do you do about that, Pillar? I'm curious how you would handle that.
Yeah, as an artisan, I'm good at fixing stuff. So maybe as I'm kind of having this clock conversation, if it's suggesting things that could be just like you said, like the teeth can be reworked or anything, Pillar's like, "Oh, of course, I can help that." So he's almost like coaxing it through communication and just with his hands when needed.
The mechanism is, for a mechanism, very excited to be played with. It tells you that the master made it so very long ago, and the master became frustrated and left it alone and has ignored it for eons. And it has been very lonely. And so when all of its gears start to fire correctly, You could see that there are large arms that sweep around. You can see that there's a small or not a constellation, but like the oh my god, the planets like start to move around, and you can see the sun start to and then you hear what are you doing? And this little man that would be played by Wallace Shawn, the actor Wallace Shawn. If you don't know who Wallace Shawn is, he was Quark, the Frankie. He was also in Princess Bride, right?
Gotcha.
He's got long hair. He's still bald on top, but he's got long curly hair that comes to the back, and he's wearing these Greek robes, and he shuffles on his sandals as he comes out. And he says, What do you think you're doing? Why are you messing with my machine?
Oh, are you this Clock's father?
Fathers? No, that's procreation. Don't you? Why am I even talking to this thing? You, young lady. He's got a pair of glasses, but then he has those like 7 or 8 different lenses, right? And he like flips a couple of lenses down. Oh, very attractive woman. Good. Oh, it's my kitten has been the only company I've had for quite a while. How are you doing?
And she goes, why have you left your creation alone for so long?
Well, I put, who cares about the passage of time when you're stuck here forever?
Why are you stuck here? Aren't you a genius?
Well, I see that my reputation precedes me. I am Daedalus, greatest inventor of all of Greece.
My goodness, it seems like you should be able to figure a way out of here.
Oh, science has nothing to defeat the Olympians, and when they are angry at you, there's nothing you can do. Ask Sisyphus, at least I don't have it that bad.
Oh, and she sort of stops and goes, is this some part of hell?
I wouldn't know if it is, perhaps. Or it could be a pocket dimension. I created the labyrinth, and then all of a sudden it was moved, and now I don't know where I am. Created this particular mechanism in an attempt to try to understand things, but you've seen how the sky looks. You've seen how those animals are. Nothing makes sense here anymore, so I just sit and I try to invent, and I try not to bother Echidna or that 2-headed dog or those weird birds.
So let me get this straight. You made this labyrinth?
Yes, well, I made it in order to keep a Minotaur safe, and then along comes a certain individual and says, why don't you stay here?
Which individual?
Not supposed to say his name or he will become very angry, but let's just say he's a little warlike.
Oh, of course. And then she sort of stops. And she goes, well, if you made the labyrinth, how can it hold you here? Just because it's been picked up and moved?
Yes, well, yes. See, I understand the labyrinth intimately, but all of the connections don't make sense anymore. Where it is, when it is, I don't understand. Your dress looks very weird, so I'm assuming that we're not in ancient Greece anymore. In fact, I don't even know if it's ancient Greece. Is it still called Greece? Is it New Greece? Have we been changed into a different country's name? I don't understand anything anymore.
Well, fortunately, Greece is still Greece, but you're in present-day Greece, which is many years away from ancient Greece. I'm impressed that you knew it was ancient Greece, though.
So I pick up things here and there. Occasionally, you people come wandering in before you're killed by the other guardians. They don't kill me. They just keep pulling me back. I thought that when I created the device that perhaps I would be able to leave, and all they did was take it away from me.
What device?
I should not talk about it. That could put me in a great deal of danger.
But if you don't, then we can't help you.
I think you're trying to sway him into revealing.
I am. And yes, I do. And I would say, because when I hit my +5, I purchased awe, so I have a +1 on that.
Gorgeous. All these failures.
Yes. Oh, doesn't help.
Oh.
So it's a 5. Nothing can help me now.
Nothing can help you now. says as I look upon my herald moves. Let me simply say that perhaps the one whose very warlike son said that if I created a particular device for his aims, then I might get out a little reprieve. I think he jokingly called it a parole, but I haven't seen anything and it's been quite a while.
His son?
Well,
Full god or demigod?
a demigod.
If it's the son I'm thinking of, I am so going to punch him.
Which son do you think it might be?
Mr. Bad Boy. What is his name? You haven't even told me. What?
Demos. D-I-O-S. Demos.
Oh, yeah. Demos. Demos. Does he react at all?
Yeah, he totally, like, he has the worst poker face, and yes, it's totally Demos. He isn't, he's like, but yes, it's totally Demos.
Who was Demos again?
Demos is, I don't know, would Pillar know about Demos?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe because Pillar says that. Oh, who's this? That works out.
I wouldn't know.
And she stops and goes, he's come over to the house a couple times. He's the one that always cheats at billiards.
Oh, yes. Those billiard balls do not like that.
No, they don't. He hits them far too hard. Oh, but he's just trying to impress me. And she sort of looks at him and goes, this isn't one of his schemes to pull me in, is it?
Well, young lady, as pretty as you are, I don't remember anyone mentioning you before. Perhaps if I knew your name.
Well, maybe then I can forgive him. Because this is getting to be a bit long and boring. But we're going to head on. If you want to come with us, you can.
Well,
we're using the thread. We're heading towards whatever's there in the center.
Oh, that was me. I was trying to escape. That will take you to my room. It's not far from here. I'm sorry. But it got you this far. I hope that you weren't harmed in any way in your attempts to save me. But hey, if you get me out of here, I'll tell you all about the device that I've handed over to not the god of battle and not the god of battle's son. And all of those dirty laundry, I'll be happy to hand it over, even though it'll probably come back and bite me because you know how they are. They can hear you.
All right. Can we also bring this back with us? She points to the water, Ori. The antithericon.
Oh, well, it's... If you wish, I can always make another. It's yours. Take it. I don't care. It's just a project.
It's not just a project.
Pillar's like, you should care.
All right. We're going to go and figure out what's going on here.
As I'm getting moral lessons from a rock man.
It's quite clever.
Thank you.
She kind of stops and goes, well, we should keep on going then.
Yes, of course you should. And I should as well. I will be following you at a safe distance.
All right.
Shuffles on his little sandals.
Oh. And she goes, do you know who placed the geas on the little snake girl? And
Yes, I do. And it was not the god of battle, but someone that is in cahoots with him.
well, this is complicated, but you're
telling me.
Yeah. So she sort of stops and goes, that's the thing. I always skip the family get-togethers. They were just crazy.
Oh, let's just say this one's in a completely different family tree, if you know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Gonna figure this out, Pillar. You're the one.
Well, because you have Daedalus with you, you now get to roll with fate's favor.
All right. All right. That means it'll be easy for Pillar to figure it out.
Perhaps.
And I think, so we're taking the clock with us, you said?
No. We'll take it back with us when the time comes.
You guys are going to clean this place out later.
That's right.
Oh, I think so. How big? I'm imagining this is like this clock. By the way, is like the size of a refrigerator or something. Am I picturing it about right?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
I think unless anyone says he shouldn't, I think when you look back at Pillar, he already has it like strapped to his back like a backpack. He's like, "Let's go. We have 2 new friends."
All right.
I have to hand it to you. That Rockman's very useful. Quite strong. I should make a few of those.
Can you?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Mm.
Only if you're kind to them. And then he just to Allie like, "You should not make any more."
I agree with you completely. We're in complete agreement. All right.
All right, Pillar. Let's see if you guys can get out of the labyrinth.
Yeah. Oh, I have to make the roll?
Yes, 3d6. You get to keep the best 2.
Oh, right. Nice. Yeah, and I think the way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna have how do you pronounce this? The Antikythera. I'm sure that's surely the incorrect way, but he's just like, "Oh, guide the way," talking to the thing on his back, and maybe the 2 of them are just like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, this way."
All right.
Nice.
Awesome.
And then, all right. So, which I don't know which attribute that would be. Is that weird? Maybe weird or judgment, I guess.
I could see weird or judgment. You tell me. I think judgment maybe because you're trying to discern things.
In that case, that is a 10.
Oh well, nice. Okay, with a 10, you gain your 3rd hold. Would you like to purchase your way to exit the labyrinth? Would you like to find some treasure? What would you like to do?
Yeah, what do you think, Sherry? I mean, we got plenty of time, right? Should we do another treasure?
Yeah, sure. Let's
Totally
do
up to
it.
you
I
guys.
mean, in some ways, I figure this is pretty much just the basement of the house at this point. So it's like we can always come back down.
It's true.
Exactly. Let's go labyrinthing!
Yay!
The kid is like, "Oh God, you guys again!"
Still working on that gas.
You suck. Okay, awesome. This is great. It's a new basement fun time. Awesome. So you spin for another treasure. And what does the room look like where you find it?
Do you want to go for this one, Sherry? Since I got the last one, or
Yeah, sure. I think that what it is, we've been going down the hallway, and then for the first time, we actually have a sense of level because it starts going in a stairway, and it's a big spiral staircase. And as we're going down about, what would be like 3 or 4 stories down, we see kind of light. And then we go on further and we come down and there is sort of a set of glowing orbs in the center of this spiral staircase. And after we get there, they sort of follow us down.
Oh, cool.
Neat. So are you seeing the glowing orbs like will-o'-the-wisp type?
Actually, maybe almost more like the light is stronger than that. It's almost like a crystalline with a sort of very bright light inside of it that's refracted by the way the crystal has been when it's been cut.
Oh,
does that make any sense?
Yeah, neat. So it's almost like a crunchy light, right? Because it's crystal when it's cut, like the inside of a rock that might be crystalline. but there's light coming out. Oh, so that's cool. It's got a neat kind of sharpish surface to it. Probably throws light in lots of different ways, like a kaleidoscope, but all bright. Is that where you were?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. And there's
Okay,
like a set of like 4 or 5 of them that are kind of following each other along.
neat. Oh, yeah. So you guys come down the spiral staircase, and you see that there's a low table here. It's the kind of table that people might have eaten at without chairs. Like you get cushions and kind of sit on the floor. There's a low stone table, and you see there are a number of old pieces of pottery, like little plates and bowls and the like, but they've all kind of crumbled with age. But there in the middle bowl is a perfectly pristine apple. It looks incredibly tasty and beautiful. It's perfect.
And Althea stops and she goes, Pillar, I'm so sorry. I know that I was supposed to study all the myths of my family, but they were so boring. But I recognize this. I mean, I know that it's a thing, but I don't know what thing it is. I mean, it could be 4 or 5 different things. Do you know?
No. Yes, I have seen these before. This is an apple.
Oh my god, this is killing me!
Some of my friends eat them.
Oh, you know what it is, don't you, Daedalus? Won't you
No
tell
comment.
us?
I don't wish to anger anyone who might have put this here. I'm just saying, don't read it.
Don't read it or don't eat it?
Neither of them. Don't read it. Don't eat it. Don't touch it. Just move on.
Are you sure? It looks pretty powerful.
I'm rather sure, but you can do what you like.
Why don't you tell us what it is?
That is the apple of Eris. Written upon it is for the fairest.
Oh, okay.
Ever vain people see it. They must have it. They must possess it. They will come to blows over it.
I totally know a way to get back at the Gemini twins next time they pull a stunt. Awesome.
Oh, the last time that was thrown in the middle of a party, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all got into a major catfight.
I bet it was pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Oh, well, yes, of course.
Oh, man. But anyway, we'll leave it there for the time being. Mark it. We know where it is.
And just to remind you guys of kind of our world gen and team creation, Charybdis that you guys have fought was let into New Gauntlet City by Eris, the goddess of strife, and this is her apple.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe Pillar is like, I can take it with us if we need. And he has this like compartment in his chest that can open up.
Like, yes, he does. That's canon.
Oh my gosh. She sort of looks at him and goes, I don't even get that. Before you do that, and is there any of those plants growing inside of there?
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
yes.
Maybe there.
Are
Yeah.
there?
I like
There's
that.
a flower.
Maybe it's like overgrown kind of. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
hasn't opened this in a bit.
And she sort of stops and goes, I don't think we should put it in there because you're still growing.
What does the flower look like that you see inside there, Allie?
It looks like an orchid.
Oh, I love it. It's like growing where his heart would be.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Because they can sustain themselves on the water and the air, and they can grow on stone and with the least amount of help. And they are rare and beautiful.
Oh. And Daedalus looks inside. That is a stroke of genius. All of the automatons I've made have been with artificial hearts and lungs, and it seemed appropriate, but that storage capacity, very good job. Whoever made you, bravo.
Oh, I'll tell them next time I see them.
Perhaps I will meet them since we are escaping, which we should get to doing.
Oh, that's right. So you don't think we should take that with us, huh?
Oh, I'm just saying I'm not going to deal with it because I already know that I'm not the fairest.
Let's go.
Cool. Did you take the? Do you take? It's totally up to you. Take the apple. Don't take the apple.
I've recommended that you not because the flower is in there.
Oh, Pillar is way too curious for that. As soon as she turns her back, she's just like, yoink.
I love it.
He will become the thing that all people covet then.
Everyone's the pillar. Like Pillar's walking down like some kind of runway and people taking pictures of Pillar. His Pillar's up on BuzzFeed and Cosmopolitan.
The most alluring of all superheroes.
Yes. Everyone wants Pillar. Cool. So let's hit another roll here since you guys are having fun. With Daedalus assisting you, you will again roll with Fate's favor.
Okay.
Who's making the roll?
Well, we can go back and forth. I will be just taking Pillar's suggestions. Okay, I rolled an 11 plus whatever.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, no. I mean, if you make with a 12, there's actually because of the move, a 12 plus allows you to hold 2. So let's figure out how is it that you are going through. You're going to try to back your way into prowess, metal, or awe, and I'm okay with that, but you tell me how.
And because you roll doubles, you get another thread.
Another thread.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I think this is perform under pressure. I think that essentially at this point, Pillar has done so well, whereas I've been merely just skating along, that at this point I have to get this right. So I'm taking his suggestions, but I'm essentially trying to be super aware of the environment and all of the living things around it and getting what help I can from those.
Nice. It gives you a 12 and a hold of 2.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Turn back and
that gets you to a total. I'm sorry, to a total of 4 hold. I apologize.
Oh, 4 hold.
Yeah, because you guys you got up to 3. You spent 1 for the Apple of Eris that knocked you back down to 2. You just rolled a 12, so that gets you to 4 total hold.
Okay, well, we'll find a treasure on our way out the door.
Awesome.
Sounds appropriate.
Sweet. Good. So then as you guys, well, tell me what the room looks like that leads to the basement, because that's just the best answer. So it's the basement of your house that you come into, but you pass through a final room. What does it look like?
I think the thing is that it is the basement of our room, and so it has like a couple of old rickety tables that people have put down here, and the things that they've stored. There's like an old sled. There's looks like a couple of camping tents. It is literally those kinds of things that people go and tuck right at the bottom of the stairs in the basement. They don't use very much, but they need to get something out of the way and still have access to it. But it's full of years worth of that. I mean, there's like bird cages and old bed frames and great big piles of towels and just all sorts of strange things that people have decided but years worth.
And this was here when you guys moved in, all of this junk, right?
We've never gone downstairs.
Oh, there you go. As you guys are all moving through, you catch the glint of gold, Allie, and you see that there is a bow, like an archery bow, that has been kind of placed up along with a bunch of wood that was all up in the rafters part of, not the rafters. You know how sometimes there's those beams. You can kind of store stuff up in the beams, and it's just the light catches it, and you see it, and when you reach up and you pull it down, there's this golden bow.
Wow, it's pretty. Does it have a name tag on it?
In Greek script, it would say the bow of Apollo, because Apollo is the kind of guy I would imagine who would label his own stuff.
Okay. He had it engraved at the famous
He
number.
He doesn't want his sister to lay claim to it, because they always fight. Artemis, Artemis, Artemis!
Excellent. Okay. And I say, oh, hey. Well, maybe when I see him next, I can ask him if he needs it still. What kind of bow is it? Is it something that I could use, or is it like super?
It is a bow that you could use. You find if you pull the string back, then an arrow is placed upon it. And if you release the tension but not shoot it, the arrow just kind of shimmers out of existence.
Oh, that's sweet. All right. Okay, look, I found a thing. Now we got to find a room for the Antitheron. And I sort of look at Daedalus and go, hey, we're almost there.
Yes, I've never been here before. I don't think this is part of the labyrinth. I agree with you.
Yeah, but I think the labyrinth is part of our basement.
Huh. That's a conundrum.
Well, it explains the weird sky. So, yeah, we have a lot of rooms up there. So if you need a place to stay.
Oh, well, I am between jobs. That would be it would be beneficial.
All right. Pillar can, help you kid out a workshop or something, right, Pillar?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very good. You will be my assistant, large one.
Oh, my name's Pillar. You can stay in my room. I actually don't sleep. I don't spend a lot of time there anyway. I can help you make it up.
I accept, although I don't understand exactly why a rock man would need a room, but very well, I will accept your... Now, as we had agreed, now that I am out of the labyrinth, I will tell you the device that was stolen from me. I mean, it's stolen technically. Actually, I gave it up because I thought that they would get me out, but they didn't. They lied. Therefore, it's stolen.
It is.
It's called the Dynamis mechanism.
Wait, isn't the what mechanism?
The Dynamis mechanism. Was a device that I created that would imbue godlike power upon mortals for brief periods of time. I had hoped to use it to burst out, but then all of a sudden Demo shows up and he's there with the two twins and the cold girl, and they tell me, we need that. We have a plan, and then they take it from me, and I'm supposed to get out, and here I am, still stuck. But now you've let me out, and now I've given you my truth.
All right. That sounds great. I'm going to go find out what they're up to.
Great. I'm very hungry.
Okay. I'll show you where the kitchen is.
Excellent.
We'll go make sandwiches.
Awesome.
I just I love this. If there's like a capstone scene to this part, I think maybe you lead them up and just that Minotaur is there, just like eating like a salad or something.
Yes. And I think what happens is like Agalata looks over and Daedalus looks at him. You befriended him?
Well, yeah. He was kind of hungry, having a bad time. He's between jobs, too.
I'm imminently more hireable.
Oh, we needed a door guard.
Oh, well, he could do that.
Yeah.
I'm more of an idea guy.
Well, take it.
Cool. I think this would be a great opportunity for us to take our bio break here. It is 39 after. Let's take 10.
Okay.
Nice long break. I'll see you guys at 49 after. 11 till math.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Good.
I don't know if you guys saw the thing I posted to the Google chat from Twitter that there is a new animated series that Netflix is producing that looks amazing and is
Yeah, I just saw that.
demigods.
It's like also mythology themed, right?
Yes. All new anime series, Gods and Heroes, set in the world of Greek mythology with animation from Powerhouse Animation of Castlevania fame.
Yeah, I haven't seen that Castlevania, but I hear everyone says it's great.
I like it okay. It's a little, I don't know. I think I feel like I need to suffer through the first little bit of like everyone is terrible. Sometimes those shows like I'm like, yeah, I don't find that entertaining. It's just terrible.
Right.
Makes me sad. Good. All right. So you guys are back to the house.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
I was gonna say before you get started proper, I spent advance. Yeah, that's what they call them, right? Yeah, advancement. Just getting another gift. There's actually one for psychometry, which I was cheating before, so now I have it officially.
Yay!
I just realized that I think the Grim Reaper type has that. So I'm like, oh, why didn't I already have that? What are you thinking?
I like it.
Anyway, that was it.
Cool. I wonder if, I don't know. I think you could potentially have made something cool. What do you think? When you were working on the clock and restoring it, and you think that was making something cool or just restoring something that shouldn't count? What do you think? I'm looking in the once per session XP awards.
Yeah, those are kind of tricky. I think I was saying before too. It's like I feel like I'm playing the artisan a little bit wrong, like how differently than they intended. But I think you could abstract, like if you squint hard enough, I guess that might count.
Okay.
I like the idea that he created self-repairing cogs while he was doing it.
There we go. So you guys have made it out. Daedalus is happy to go see Rockman's room, who he now will start calling you Pillar. Because you insist, but I still think Rockman's easier.
Is he actually speaking like Greek, but we just understand him?
Yeah. I think he probably speaks Greek, but you guys happen to understand him. Because that's a nice problem for him to have. Oh, I have to learn a new language!
They have the translated from ancient Greek box at the bottom.
He'll be sitting there listening to Duolingo.
Que pasa?
I do not understand these pants. These are infernal devices. Yes, this is Daedalus, a new sitcom. Okay, sorry. I'll hush now. You guys have made some promises. How do you deal with that? What's the plan here?
Let's see here. What promises did we make again? We have to make a list. I think that's like part of my character thing, right? So, lift AS on. And how do you spell her name again?
Echidna?
Echidna. Okay, I can do
I
that.
will type it in the chat.
I got it. And then, what else did I promise? Let's see here.
We gotta get those animals out too.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The created animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a weird thing. Okay, so find place created animals. And what else?
Might be it.
All right. I think you were going to have to find a petting zoo of some sort.
Weird petting zoo.
Mm-hmm.
With plantler bugs.
Exactly. Isn't that cool? What is the season?
Oh, that is a great question. I think that the season should be not winter because then
Okay.
your mom is, in a certain place. So
Mhm.
we should make it summertime. Does that sound good?
Sure, summertime's lovely.
And it's the Midwest, so it's warm outside. Maybe it was a rain this morning. So
All right, that sounds lovely. So I think that one of the things that we have to do is go and track down and find out what Demos is up to.
before we go there, like, are you literally going to go and try to bring a kidna, like, follow the thread back, go back into the labyrinth, find Echidna, lead her through and out, or is that
Yeah.
a thing for later? Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
what's the plan to deal with the half snake, half woman monstrous creature?
I'm sure she has some skills. So we'll just get her back here. She can kind of hang here. We have a lot of rooms until she figures out what she's going to do. Worst case scenario, we have someone who can handle our communications.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to explaining this all to Kobe, by the way.
Oh my god. This is so good. Like, I think the first half hour of next game is explaining things to Colby and Danny about the new house guests that you guys have who probably can't pay rent. Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that Echidna is now in the house, as are now, I guess, in your backyard, the little rabbits and deer and
In the meantime, we'll see if we can arrange a petting zoo or something that so they
Okay. All right. So you need to go find Demos. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good to me. How would you find Demos? Do you still have his number?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you guys are like dating, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you're actively dating. He's been over to the house a few times.
Yes.
Nice.
That's exactly the problem, I assume. Caught wind of the labyrinth when he went by the basement door. Okay.
Cool. Good. So you ring him up, or do you just want to go to his place, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'll call.
Yeah, he answers, "Hey,
Hey, what's up?
Allie. Oh, just out and about, running a few errands. What's going on with you, babe?"
Oh, I'm trying to track down a lost dynamizer or something like that. I forget exactly what it was called. Some sort of strange piece of equipment. I was wondering if you could help me out.
Sure. Anything for you, babe.
Oh, great. Awesome. Well, where can I meet you?
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of hungry. You want to meet at the Meat Shake?
Oh, that sounds awesome. Hey,
Right across the street from that weird charcoal ice cream place.
Oh, perfect. Pillar's coming with me too.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, he's the best. So, all right.
Cool. So, yeah, if you
Before
guys,
we go, I go back to Daedalus. I'm like, what did you call that thing again?
I called it the Dynamis mechanism.
Dynamis.
Don't tell him I told you. I really don't want his wrath, if you know what I'm saying. He's very violent.
He's my boyfriend.
What?
Yeah. I bet he's going to use it for some sort of charity event. But we'll see. I spelled mechanism wrong. She said as she's writing down on the note. I'm going to tell. Okay, I got to go. So I'll see you. You know where the stuff for the sandwiches are, right?
Oh, wait. Can I say that Pillar was in the I'm just going to say the kitchen or something again when this was going on?
Oh, yeah.
And there's like a panel of this, and he just turns like away from you and just like, I thought the labyrinth time was a date. These things are very confusing.
Super confusing. She goes, hey, we're going to go by the ice cream place with the charcoal ice cream. Do you want to go?
Oh, yes. I will go. I've been there once. It was very nice.
All right. Let's go see.
Oh, and you will bring your date there.
Oh, he's going to meet us there.
Oh, good. But
That is a ringtone?
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought
That's
I turned
fine.
it
No worries. I never heard that ringtone that I can recall. That's quite amusing.
Okay.
It's very
and I think
doorbelling.
that was good. I think Pillar will say, good. I will bring my date to I'll pick them up and bring them with us.
Okay. I didn't. All right. Well, let's go pick her up and then or them up. And off we go, okay? Wait,
Good.
who's driving?
What are you in? Pillar's not the kind of person that can fit in a Miata.
So I suppose we have a van.
Yes.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Vehicles
No, so go ahead.
Vehicles are very nice, but from what I've heard, they do not like when I ride in them. I can meet you there.
Oh, well, then in that case, I'll just walk. It's not that far.
Good.
All right.
Okay. So you guys walk together to the Meat Shake. So Meat Shake is a local franchise in New Gauntlet City where almost all of their menu items are made of meat and
Oh my gosh, I thought you meant meat like MEET.
yeah, no. And they are often thrown in a blender all together.
That's pretty great.
Horrible.
Yep.
I hate it.
It's one of Demos's favorite places.
All
so
right.
yeah.
So he knows I always bring something there with me, and I let him eat it while I eat whatever I've brought in as carry-out. So we stop at the ice cream place across the street. I just like the idea that Pillar and Allie are walking, but because they're demigods and sort of superhuman, they're actually walking very fast, and they're just having what to them is a very normal conversation, but they're sort of like striding past in a very strangely quick way everyone else.
Yeah, it's like occasionally cars slow down and you just like just power walking past them. I love it. So yeah, I can't remember what we named that coal ice cream place or charcoal ice cream place. I know we came up with some silly name for it, but I just
I don't remember either.
So we'll call it like Vesuvius or something. And so you guys go there to get some. You said you were bringing a date, Pillar. Who's the date that you're bringing?
Oh yeah, as we sit down, he takes the Antikythera off his back and puts her down.
The refrigerator-sized ancient device is your date. That's great.
He's still trying to figure it out, but
Yep.
I think he's gonna be translating like what this ancient computer is saying too.
Yeah, the ancient computer communicates with you, but it has no sense of the outside world. Like it doesn't have eyes, it doesn't have sense. It's effectively blind and mute, and not mute, but blind and can't smell, and all of the senses are deprived of it. So it's God in a way, right? Because you have spoken to it, and it knows the presence of Master because Master created it, and you are the next creature that has introduced yourself to it. So it's quite a stimulating conversation, I would imagine.
Yeah, Pillar's going to go out of his way to correct that. Just like, oh no.
I'm sure you could help create senses for it. That would be an interesting project.
Yeah. Oh, maybe the first thing he says is, "No, I've heard blind dates are quite normal and common. Perhaps when we get back, I can work on those."
Nice.
Awesome.
Great.
I just love the idea that it is this sort of little booth full of craziness that Demos like sights when he comes in.
Yeah.
With Allie and the Pillar sitting there with that big Greek machine.
Oh, as you guys come in and order your food, you notice that there is one of the little tables here in Vesuvius, there's a thin film of frost over the top of the table.
Mm.
Oh, hey, that belongs to Coldheart, doesn't it?
Guy behind the counter says, "Yeah, Coldheart sat right there just a little while ago."
Oh, she's left already?
Yeah, she went across the street when this douchey guy came in.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Everyone thinks he's douchey. I say to Filler, I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, the pool table did not like him,
Well,
but I think he was fine.
yes, he's very assertive, and that's okay.
So you guys get your charcoal ice cream.
Well, I should ask if I can have mint chocolate, because I know they have some back there.
They do. Of course they do. Mint the charcoal is like the thing that draws people the curiosity, but of course they have tubs of regular ice cream and scoop out and put it. And of course the cone is made to look like it's a blackened cone, but it's actually a regular sugar cone and a waffle cone. They just try to make everything go with a charcoal theme.
That's cool. I have no
Sweet.
problem with it.
Awesome. And I imagine you get heavy on the charcoal ice cream, Pillar.
Yeah. Maybe he gets a bowl and puts it on Antikytheria's, like the top of the device. Just like, this is cold.
This is great. All right, so you pack up your backpack, girlfriend, and head across the street to meet Shake, and you see parked in the handicap space is the sleek Beamer, like Series 5. And you guys head inside and you see Coldheart and Demos, as well as the Gemini twins, are all seated around I imagine it's one of those like horseshoe booth or like corner booth type deals, right? With the round table. And it's not exactly horseshoe, it's more like a big, slightly rounded, almost a C in a way, more like an L with just a little bit curl around. And Demos is there, and he's seated by, imagine he's seated by Ella, your frenemy, and he kind of elbows Zephyr, the brother of the two, who immediately stands up and zips around and grabs a table or grabs a chair and flips it around and sits kind of backwards at the end. And Demos is like, hey, babe, saved you a spot.
Thank you very much. And I'll slide in next to him.
Cool. And he puts his arm around you and he's got his big meat shake. It's like, big, like 64-ounce thing of meat shake. It smells like liverwurst mixed with some like ground beef.
Yes, I make. I don't judge because I think that he can change.
So, what's this thing you were talking about, babe? What's up, Filler?
I'm sort of saying, and she kind of waves to Ella. She's like, "It's good to see you, Ella." Zephyr. And
it's good that you saw me. You can go ahead and mark that in your favorites for the day. It's cool.
She smiles and she says, "Oh, I'm going to write that down." Awkward. So
it's like, we'll get some selfies later.
Sounds great. And she kind of goes looking for the dynamis mechanism.
They all kind of get quiet for a moment, and Demos says, "What do you need that for?"
I just wondered what you guys were up to with it.
Wow. Okay. So, who told you that we have such a thing?
No one told us. We found out it was missing.
He looks at you a little skeptically. And how would you find out that something that probably doesn't exist is missing, babe?
Sort of goes, puts her thumb up. indicates Pillar and goes, he talks to things. Like things. Walls, floors, machines, podiums.
Podiums.
Yeah.
Takes a big drink as a meat shake.
He's like, have you met Antikythera?
They're in a relationship.
Well, this is our first date. He puts one of the meat shakes on top of her. It's just like, this is uncomfortably warm.
Wow, Allie, you really need to get with the Furies because your team is too weird.
I don't. She kind of goes, it's what makes it perfect. So, what are you guys up to?
I think you need to sway him.
Really?
You do.
All right. I will try to sway him. And I will sway him with my positivity and certainty. He is always down deep a good person. I believe in him. He knows he can tell me and I'll come up with an excuse for why it's okay. How's that?
We'll see.
Okay, so I'm rolling with awe. I'm rolling.
You are. We each raced with a +1. Lucky
Yes. That gives me a 7.
Whew. Squeak.
Yep.
All right. So he says, just you. I don't want Pillar and his weird date. I trust you, babe.
Sure. And she goes, Pillar, you shouldn't listen to this, okay?
Okay, I can stop hearing when I want to.
Right?
What?
Cold Heart, you can touch him. Can you lead him out? And Cold Heart says, fine. She gets up out of her seat and it kind of crackles a little bit because she's somewhat stuck to the seat from the ice, right? She breaks out of it. She says, come on, Pillar. And
okay,
bring your backpack thing.
a girl? Or date? Sorry.
Girlfriend, that's a little... First of all, that you gendered it. Second of all, that you went from a blind date to a girlfriend, Cold Heart says. This whole animism thing, a little weird.
And Allie stops and she goes, Cold Heart, the galaxy is female.
Fair. Cool. So Cold Heart will walk you outside, and then Deimos will say, okay, babe, here's the plan. So I've got this idea. I was watching Indiana Jones movie, right?
Oh, God, not the one where where all the Nazis get blown away from the light from the ark.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. Don't look. But then they look and it's so gory. It stands up. It really does. No, seriously. So the idol thing, right? Right. So here's the deal, right? There are a bunch of gods in Tartarus. We take this device. We make new gods. Swap them out. Gemini's, Ella and Zephyr are both there. Loki's down there. Bunch of other great dudes. Dudettes. So just swap them out for the good ones. The ones that won't destroy the world. That just, wrongfully accused kind of people.
So you can use it for jailbreak?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the idol thing, you know?
The idol.
He like poured and he had the thing and he swapped it for the idol. He had
Who gave you
the
that idea that they were equivalent?
it's like the movie. Tartarus. I thought of it. He didn't think of it. He totally
I know.
He totally didn't think of this.
So what superpower are you going to give a mortal that will weigh the same as Loki?
He looks over at Ella, and Ella's like, well, trickster god.
I know, but they would be such a tiny trickster god. I mean, Loki's a major trickster god. I mean, we're talking like the scales. The scales are weighing power, not flesh.
Ella, she like does this, like crosses her arms and.
See,
well, we can dial it up and down.
She goes, if you're standing there and you try to switch with Loki, you're going to get pulled in with whoever you're trying to take and put in that place.
Oh, you had me going. Demos, she's way smarter than you give her credit for. Still not as smart as me, but clever. Clever, yeah, you're right. We'll have to be smart about that. You almost. Oh, it's funny. You're just a little worried that we're going to pull this off. That's okay.
And she goes, huh. And she goes, all right, well, I guess someone will have to jailbreak you and it won't be Loki. So, and she goes, I don't know, keep your phone on you, okay? And she says that to Demos.
Zephyr says, my dad would break us out. Our dad would totally break us out. Like, it's just a thing. It's family stuff. It's true.
Mm-hmm. So keep your phone on you.
Demo says, yeah, of course, babe.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do what I can, but it's just me and my friends. That's Tartarus. And she sort of stops and goes, it's an old place. Good luck. Oh. What are you going to do about the poor human you put in there?
Ella says, I mean, they get godlike power for a while. It's a decent. We'll pick somebody who's like, I don't know, sick. They're going to die soon anyway. They get some godlike power, and they get stuck in Tartarus for a bit. But they were going to go soon. Timo says, we haven't exactly worked out the who's yet. We're working on that piece. I know you're sensitive to that kind of stuff.
And she sort of stops and goes, no, just I think whoever put you up to this, you might want to check back in with them. Make sure your math's all right, okay?
Ella, she still looks like you've just caught her cheating on an exam, and she's not at all pleased with this revelation of flaws in her plan. But she's not going to cop to it, so she just kind of doubles down at this point and says, yeah, thanks.
Okay.
And Demo says, hey, babe, we're probably not doing this until tomorrow. You want to go see a movie later?
Actually, we just had a bunch of new roommates move in. I got to go and do some shopping for curtains. Do you want to come?
Shopping.
And she goes, it's not like I'm trying on clothes.
He looks over Ella and Zephyr.
Because we can stop at the pretzel place.
Okay. But I'm getting cheese and mustard.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Let's do this.
Okay. So we like swing out to Cold Heart and Pillar, and Cold Heart is kind of debating the concept of animism. And Pillar, how do you know that this thing is actually talking to you? What if it's all in your head?
Oh, no. Well, when I make language, it's in my head, I suppose. But no, I can feel kind of the spirit of something created, and it can shape words that I can understand.
But what if you just understand a piece of the universe and you're kind of projecting a personality, thoughts, and feelings onto it?
Well, how is the universe not a device?
But the universe isn't a person.
Well, I don't know about that. I think all devices are people in their own way. I believe I'm a person.
I mean, yes, I believe you're a person too.
I believe Antikythera is a person, and he puts his arm around her shoulder.
See, I can't. That's a bridge too far, man. Like, I can't have a conversation with this giant calculator, heavy abacus. I don't know what this is.
Oh,
And you could. Oh, sorry.
he's just kind of mumbling, correcting her, like, "Oh no, it's state of the art, ancient device that's unparalleled."
State of the art and ancient. Two different words. I don't know. They mean phrases mean different. I don't know. This is about when Allie comes out.
Oh wait, hold on. Can I add something real fast?
Yeah.
So, I think in the first episode, Danny has like a super crush on her, right?
Yes. Super.
Okay, perfect. Then I think right before Allie comes in, he's like, "No, she is like a person, just like I feel about. I'm excited about meeting her as Danny is every time he sees you. It's exactly the same."
She normally wears like shades, kind of mirrored shades, and she lowers them down. You see that she doesn't have any like color to her eyes. That's why she kind of covers it out because it freaks people out. She looks at you for a second. What did you just say? And then Allie, you come out at this point because this seems to be very new information to Coldheart.
Awesome. All right, and I'm like, "Hey, Pillar, I'm gonna go and pick up those curtains for Echidna. So I don't know if you want to go, particularly because it might be hard getting a Ticathera through the revolving doors at the mall."
Oh,
Not an insult, merely that she is a large, very unflexible. Her persona is not particularly conducive to going through revolving doors.
Oh yeah, she is the size she is. I prefer it. No, I will. I can drop her off.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Need some help. Good. Sorry, Coldheart. I will have to leave now.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. And
then he leans closer to Coldheart and just so there's no confusion, the talk that we had was not a date. I'm on a date with Antiphy. So,
thanks for clarifying, Pele.
Good. I'll talk to you later.
And then she'll head inside. And yeah, I think Demos will come out. He kind of throws his half-drunk meat shake towards a trash can, misses a little bit. It's like pauses to see if you notice it. If you do, he'll go pick it up, but you know that if you don't make a thing out of it, he'll just leave it.
Yeah, and I see it, and I do this, and I do that sort of testing gaze off into the
yeah, he walks over, he picks up the shake, he places it into the trash can. He says, "Hey, Pillar, I'm sorry you're too big for the beamer, man, but you've probably got other stuff to do, right?"
I have many things I can do.
Great. Come on, babe.
All right. So I'm going to ride over to the mall with Demos, okay? And
All
she'll
right,
say, see ya.
I'll meet you soon. And I just remembered Pillar then just flies off. He can fly now.
Wow, that's new.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it awesome?
I thought the wings were just some weird thing that for show. That's
Oh, aren't they? They're sort of heartbreakingly cute on those big old ankles of his.
just a little jealous. Those are the winged shoes of Hermes.
Yeah. So you went down to the labyrinth and just like took a beeline to this dynamis machine? Didn't even look around? And that place was full of treasures.
Okay. That was. I didn't know that.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm a little worried for you. I mean, I'm serious about you better have. She kind of goes, I really am worried.
Pulls out. Of course, he's got his beamer is, of course, it's a stick shift, right? Because that gives him more power, right? So he's playing some kind of like, I think he's playing Tool. Like that's the kind of metal he's into.
All right.
So it's like Tool's Undertow or something. You guys are zipping along, and he's speeding because that's what Demos does. And he says, "Oh, so the deal is, I just want a big battle, Show Dad. These gods come out. I'll team up with you guys. We kick their asses. Send them all back to Tartarus. Boom. Ares will be like, yeah. And I'll be like, yup. And whatever. Like, Loki goes back to Tartarus. Everybody will be fine with that.
So Loki set this up?
I don't know. I mean, no, he doesn't know about me wanting to fight him. See, that's the trick. His whole thing is fine. And I mean, Gemini, Ella, they love the guy. And if they get screwed in the deal, he gets out. I kick his ass. You guys can help me. I'll give you partial credit. Like if you want it.
So generous. And she sort of stops and goes, but it won't just be Loki, will it? I mean, you guys are going to set a bunch of them loose so you can make a big noise.
Well, of course. I mean, Thor kicks Loki's ass all the time. I'm thinking some ancient shit, right? Like who's fought Cronus? Nobody. Just the Olympians. Take down Cronus. You basically are as badass as an Olympian, right?
She sort of says, so they're going to stand in a line and wait for you?
We'll do it one at a time.
Exactly. So they're just going to stand there and wait?
Listen, babe. I know you're worried about me. And that's what I love about you. But I've got this. It's fine. The Furies, we are locked tight on setting free Loki. I'm going to pull in Cronus. I've already got the device set up. Coldheart's going to handle picking, first subject. It's fine. It's all going down tomorrow. We've got this. It's cool.
Who brought this to the group, Coldheart or Ella and Gemini?
Ella and Gemini. Coldheart's just, helping out.
So why is she picking out the first one?
Her mom's down there.
Oh, man. You got a whole bunch of family stuff wrapped up in this? They're not going to let you beat anyone up.
I'm not going to beat up. I mean, this is just like a fire goddess anyway. Who cares? Fire god. Pfft, whatever. Elementals. You've got your rock guy. I've got Coldheart. We all have elementals. It's no big deal. Oh, wait. You've got Danny. He's like a fire guy, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Rich just flipped the thing. She's actually,
She's sort of the god of
She's
like
actually
volcanoes and ice or something, isn't she?
yeah. Let me double check. I think she is volcanoes and ice, but he would have gotten it right. I think Rich just flipped the thing. So let me look her up very quickly in the wiki. I apologize. I just want to make sure I
No problem.
fix it before it becomes affixed in people's brains. The Furies and Cold Heart and daughter of Polialu, the Hawaiian goddess of snow. There we go. So, yeah, snow goddess, no big deal. Snow, who cares? And you've got your flame guy. So it's if she lets her mom out, cool. Family stuff, you know how it is.
No, I don't.
Oh,
You
come
don't
on.
need
You totally do. You spend half the year with your mom, the other half with garden guy.
And she smiles and goes, "Oh, that's true. But I mean, I'm not separated from my family, right? You're not really either."
No, but Aphrodite hates me.
Well, maybe. That's what you think it is. But your dad, you want to impress him, right?
I mean, sure, I wouldn't turn down the opportunity.
And you think that fighting a bunch of gods would be the thing that impresses him?
Yes. I mean, Ares, god of battle and chaos. Mostly battle, though. It's the god of all warriors.
Well, it sounded like you got the chaos super covered.
Right.
Right.
It's a good plan.
Unless, of course, you get sucked into the cell. And then you're going to look like the biggest dope in the whole world. I mean, the biggest dope.
You're going to help me make sure that we balance all this crap out?
I don't know that I can. I don't know how you balance Loki. Hell, I don't even know how you guys are going to balance the snow goddess with a bunch of...
What if we let the snow goddess out, but maybe Loki will sneak out? I mean, he's the god of tricksters. He's like Hermes, but terrible.
And she kind of goes, "I think he's already arranged this. That's my concern. But you know what? Man, I don't know how." And she sort of stops and goes, "This is really a big mess."
Pulls into the mall parking lot and starts going down to. He's going to park he's totally going to park in a handicap space, by the way.
"Don't worry, I'll talk to my group and we'll figure out what needs to be done. I'll give you a call later tonight, okay?"
Sure. Let's find these curtains or whatever.
Okay. And then we'll find Pillar. And we'll go and shop for some curtains, have some pretzels, and I'll just reassure him that I'll talk to Kobe and Danny too tonight and figure out what it is so we can make sure he doesn't get sucked into the jail.
Yeah, sure.
And I make it really clear that my concern is that he's going to look like a big schmo in front of his dad if he gets caught up in that.
Yeah, that definitely gets him thinking, second guessing for sure. You have a feeling though that Demos thinks he's calling the shots, but he isn't.
I know. Ugh, okay.
Cool. So, is there anything else you guys? Is there anything else you guys wanted to do? Because it kind of feels like a good endpoint. But if you have any scenes in mind or stuff that you want to do, then let's definitely, we have time, so we can do that too.
I don't want to. I do want to do something. I don't know.
Yes.
This could be kind of maybe an epilogue, even if you want. But I was looking at this Ascendance thing.
Oh, what is that?
That's
yeah, each playbook has an Ascendance move.
Okay.
You only get to use it like 3 times, and then you've ascended to godhood. And I'm super happy that on the second session someone's going to use it, because you should. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think once Pillar gets back after the curtain shopping and everything, he's like, maybe there's a panel of him like, "Now Antikytheria, I think it's time that we make you a little bit more we make you a little bit more mobile, and he's gonna kind of use this to kind of make her. I guess I'm thinking an ancient Greek robot kind of looking thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's super awesome.
So I'd imagine that maybe it's a thing that you do later that night. Maybe you kind of have show the clock going around. You're furiously working, and Daedalus works with you for a few moments. Then he gets tired and he goes to sleep, and then he wakes back up and has a bagel. Maybe take some notes.
These are great. Yeah.
Inconceivable. Sweet. And so we have Antikytheria, your new girlfriend, is there in the morning. Yet another character that we can introduce Danny and Colby to in the next session. That is splendid.
All right.
It tickles me so great. What about Allie? Any other scenes you wanted to do?
I think she calls her dad up. And she's like, Dad, hey, I need some advice. A really good friend of mine is he is sizing up to do something super stupid. I really don't know how to stop him. I mean, what can I do? What can I do to make him see sense?
So, Althea, you're saying that you've got a friend who's doing something very unintelligent?
Yep. Thinks he's going to impress his dad, though.
Oh. Is this that boy you've been dating?
And she goes, yeah. I mean, he has
Listen, anything that impresses Ares is not very impressive. You know, we've talked about he's got some real anger issues. There's a reason that he's the god of battle, not the god of war. I don't think the apple fell too far from the tree, if you know what I'm saying. I don't understand what you see in that boy.
Really? He's really a nice guy.
What do you base this opinion upon?
And she goes, he's always so super to me. I mean, the best. I mean, he went shopping for curtains with me today. That is not God of War. So at least he's got dimensions. But man, he is fixing to get himself into a fight that is way over his head.
Okay. All right. Well, you can always sell him out. Tell Athena anything that Ares likes. You tell Athena, she'll shut it down. They hate each other.
I know, but I don't need that in there. I could use some common sense.
What? She's a goddess of wisdom. She's pretty smart.
But she hates him. I mean, his dad.
You've already tried to talk reason to him, right?
I did. I mean, I even had really good logical reasons. You'd have been
He's still convinced to what's going on.
Really wants to impress his dad.
You can offer him. I imagine he just wants to fight something. That's all really Ares cares about. You could offer him some alternative combat options that might impress Ares. I don't know. I've got lots of dead things down here. I could send a few your way.
Ooh.
Hydra?
I always feel bad for Hydra. I mean, think about those visits to the dentist. Oh.
Hydra always has company.
Well,
Talk to the other heads.
It's true. All right. She goes, nope, I'm not going to have you send in your minions because he'll see right through that. He'll know exactly what ploy is being pulled here. So that's the thing. Whatever I do, no, none of the forces of Hades can be part of it. But I do appreciate the offer.
Whatever you need, if I can give it to you, you know you'll get it. My favorite daughter.
And she laughs. She goes, thanks. Gave me a lot to think about. I appreciate that.
Best luck, kiddo. I'll see you in the winter.
All right.
Cool. So you guys good? Set.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think we get it all set up.
Awesome. There is no.
I love your new friend.
Wow. What a great and unexpected ending. I'm so fascinated. Cool. I don't just double checking. I'm pretty sure there's no end of session stuff. Do you guys have any playbook end of session things?
I think we're supposed to go through our things that we do for experience to see if we did any.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's see here. So, share too much information.
I think so. Yeah, you kind of shared way too much information.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. So, okay, so that's another one for me. And then I'd already done the talk with the plant. I didn't act like one. And I didn't really get a chance to defend the wilds, except we brought in some
I think the
non-wild.
fact that you circle back around to get those weird wilds out, I count that as defending the wilds.
All right, I appreciate that then. That puts me at 2.
And let's look at...
You were epic too, right?
Yeah, be epic. There you go.
Oh, gosh, okay. And I rolled double for the contest. All right.
Nice nebulous term, be epic. But thank
I
you
know.
that use of ascendancy, absolutely epic. So take an XP thread on that one. Didn't fail a roll. I don't think you failed a single roll.
No, I almost did, but then I got some help.
No, the way I rule is if you actually roll the fail and have to get help to be able to avoid the consequences, you still get the thread for it.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
I'll take it.
Cool.
I didn't know we're supposed to add these at the end, though. I already added the 2 up there.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. You didn't break anything.
Yeah, Filler's not good at breaking things.
Oh, he's fixing them.
He's a creator.
I know. Cool. Let's do our feedback if you guys are good with it.
One last thing too.
Yeah.
I think if I'm remembering this correctly, when you do the ascendants, each time you pick a consequence.
Oh, that's right. Which one?
I feel like I kind of picked it for the consequence I thought was interesting. Mine was machines act weird when you're near. So I'm thinking just his belief in this animist stuff is that these machines around him are just getting chatty and kind of get personalities just when he's about. That's how I'm going to interpret that. But
I like it. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. A consequence when the moment is over, your character is now weirder, less mortal, and less able to relate to mortals than before. Flakes away your mortal shell and prepares you for true greatness. You only ever have to pick 2 consequences, though, because you leave the game after the 3rd use of Ascendance.
So I think one of the interesting byproducts of his ascendancy is that in some ways he's actually more like comforting to me because he is more godlike instead of this sort of in the state of becoming, if that makes any sense, because he's so antithetical to her sense of the world that as he becomes more godlike, it at least fits into that pantheon idea. So.
Oh, this is interesting. Maybe there's, even though I already added an epilogue, maybe like the panel that we see is just like inside compartment or like an X-ray or something, and just that apple running, like bouncing around in that compartment is just making all these like plants inside him like glow or something with divine energy. That's why he's ascending.
Ooh, I like that. That is cool. That is very cool.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of the power of Eris.
No, of course not.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing. Oh boy. Okay.
Don't fail the roll. Good. Any other wrap-up stuff you guys want to talk through?
I feel good.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Let's do feedback. Roses and thorns. I always like to use. We'll start with thorns and end with roses. Who would like to kick off thorns?
I guess I got one. Mine are always pretty minor, I guess. Yeah, just looking at these, what are they? I guess the suggestions on how to get XP. I forget what they're called. But or just whenever I gain a thread, it's tricky because I guess it's wanting me to encounter devices more often. I didn't get a lot, but then I had the opportunity to kind of make my own with the labyrinth move too. So I think I was happy, but maybe the first half or so I was like, oh no, this labyrinth is going to be tricky because I don't know when I encounter any devices or things to break or anything.
Yeah, I lean pretty well. I felt towards plants and animals, but devices. It wasn't until you introduced it that we even had aspects of that. It's the thing I'm just gonna have to keep mindful of. It's tough. Yeah, I do a lot of characters, but environment is a thing that's a area of development for me. So it's a good note. I'll try to keep that in mind.
Yeah, totally tricky, for sure.
It is. And then sometimes, even when the environment's there, I forget to interact with it in the way. So one of the things that I'm thinking of is I'm looking at my tangles, and I want those to be something that we review and move along.
Develop them.
Develop them. I think that would make me feel better about it. If that makes any sense. Because I can't wrap my brain around pillar was certainly a fine starting state, but I think now it seems it needs to change.
Sure. How would you? I think that is a really good idea to not resolve tangles, but evolve tangles.
Yeah, evolve them.
Session.
Yeah, like
it could be an end of session thing. Is taking a look at your tangles so they still make sense as stated, or have the events of the session cause you to reevaluate that tangle that you have with another PC. That's really fun because from Dungeon World, one of my big things on Dungeon World, the bonds are very static and boring after 2 sessions, and I think it's because there isn't a revision or evolution. So that's a really good idea. What would you rephrase the "can't wrap my head around pillar" to?
How about I'm concerned about how pillar is growing. Because he's growing now.
I like that.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Pillar?
Yeah, that sounds great. I was looking at mine too. I feel we kind of evolved the one that I had with Allie too, because it was that was the secret that there were things growing in me, and what does that mean? So we kind of touch on that too. I guess that's one of the products of having just the 2 players. But yeah, how would I word? Maybe like Allie's helping me understand my connection better or something.
Okay. Cool. I like it. Any other thorns that she had?
No, the session was kind of spoiling.
Spoiling? What do you mean?
As in, we just got to play a lot, just the 2 of us.
I knew it was coming. 2 players. What do you expect? What roses did you have for the game?
More 2-player.
There's so many times where I'm like, I would love to just post up 2-hour 2-player games like all the time, but I feel like the Gauntlet needs bigger games on the whole, more players to get into the games, and I might be more careful with that as we expand the GM base. We're getting there, but I always feel selfish whenever I post up a 2 or 3 player game. But man, they are fun, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I played like 3 total players. It was pretty fun.
Pretty good. So I loved all the I actually loved the labyrinth move. I thought it was very clever, and the way that you fit it for this was really wonderful. So kudos to you and to Jason, because I think that is in fact a genius.
Yeah, it makes me nervous. Like the labyrinth move, I keep waiting for like more underpinnings, more structure, but it really can't exist as in that state. If you trust the play group and encourage creativity and collaborate, it can be pretty awesome.
Well, and it exactly matches the curiosity level that they have, and then the fatigue levels. When you hit it and you're like, I'm ready to be done. To finish it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. And that is a really good way to describe that. That's cool. What about you, David? Do you have any roses?
Um, yeah, that was really good. Really fun game overall. I think I'll give roses to you two for letting me be so weird. Um, I feel I was just like I love Pillar just in general, and that I think I took him in an even weirder direction than normal this time. So I'm glad you guys were just like, sure, that's fine. Bring this refrigerator on the date, I guess.
Oh, it's more than fine. It's great. I really adore seeing more Pillar. He's such an interesting character.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love especially just setting up that date in general at the end. That's always incredible.
They're
And this,
taking the date to like, oh yeah, you know what? She needs to be able to see.
and Demos was a really good character too.
Okay, I was worried. I always worry about playing douchey NPCs.
Oh no,
you know?
he was great. He was douchey in just the right ways. The sort of lightweight douchiness that is tolerable and kind of amusing.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
No,
Good.
I liked it.
Awesome. I have a few roses as well. I really, first of all, rose to you guys for putting up with my bad Wallace Shawn impression.
It was fabulous.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
It tickles me to do it. Like just making those sounds in my mouth and imagining Wallace Shawn doing them is good enough for me. Like it's so weird. I really like Pillar, David. It's very different from any other character that I've engaged with. He's just so unique and delightful. Like that's the word that keeps popping to my head. And Sherry, you play the most clever characters, and I really like Allie. She stands out differently in her cleverness because there's a certain amount of she's trying to help a character like Demos to unravel his own stupidity. She's even helping Ella, who is pretty antagonistic, to try to realize how bad of an idea something is. And I love it. Like as a GM, you guys knowing about the mechanism and then just immediately going to talk to your antagonists about it. I did not anticipate this. And I'm here for it. It was really challenging for me because I'm like, how are these guys going to react to this? Wow. And we had that messy relationship, or messy that your antagonist, one of them's dating one of you guys. So it was cool. It was really interesting, and you guys got me really keyed in because I'm like, crap, I've got to think on my feet. Yay!
No, I think it went pretty well. So.
I think so too. I'm glad you think that way. I felt pretty good about it. I feel bad about the cold heart and screwing up her mom piece. That was frustrating because I actually was kind of thinking about each of them, like, why is this person engaged in this terrible plan? Why is this person engaged in this terrible plan? Kind of working through those logics. And I'd already thought through, like, she wants to get her mom free, not just because she loves her mom, but like other stuff too. But then I screwed that up a little bit. So
I think you got it. You just forgot what she was a goddess of.
Yeah. You guys let me back into it. So that's.
But remember, it was Demos trying to remember. But he can be
sure. There we go. We'll call him. He's the unreliable narrator, not me. I knew all the time, guys.
Yeah, he's just such a douche. He doesn't even remember that about her. He's just like, man, something. Okay.
Yeah, something got us. Who cares? It's cold heart. She's frozen. Tell her to let it go. She loves that joke.
That's great.
Awesome. Going to pick curtains is so good. This house, this weird house, is just fascinating to me. Like, you guys now have this menagerie of NPCs that you've collected over. You have a Echidna, a Minotaur, Daedalus himself. It's crazy. and I'm gonna need to put her in as NPCs, but we've got to throw in that name of I knew it earlier, and now my brain.
Echidna?
Antikythera.
Oh, Antikythera. Yeah, you got to find a picture for.
Yeah, do you want to find that picture?
Oh yeah, I can poke around for that. That'd be fun.
Cool. I've stuck her on row 7. I found a picture for Eris that amuses me. That seems like a very Eris character.
Let me go look.
It's row 6.
Sorry, but I think pictures is the most fun.
Yeah, I've got pictures for everybody, actually. Agalada's there, the Minotaur, and Mr. Cassius Hooper. And
Oh, gosh. He's so
Wow,
fun.
I've been sleeping on it. I haven't seen this. This is great.
oh, a lot of these updates happened earlier today, so I even snuck in a Daedalus, but now I'm going to change the picture out for a picture of Wallace Shawn because Wallace Shawn should be in every game that I run.
Exactly. A key role.
Good stuff. Thank you guys so much. I know 2 players sometimes can be intimidating, but this was really, really fun.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. And
Cool.
and here's the thing is I would encourage you to spoil other players that way, but it might mean that I get to play less. So
Screw this, guys.
yeah.
We're going to stop the broadcast.
They'll be back next time, both of them.
Yeah, they're both going to be back for the last 2, so we're good.
Okay, great. So we can give them the rundown on the new housemates and
That is what we will lead off the game with because that's going to be pretty great. And give me more excuses to Wallace Shawn.
I love this just real world.
We built a new woman! Yes. Well, Pillar did a great deal of the actual work, but my plans... Sorry.